Hello our friends, we are glad you are watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe. And today we are going to talk about quiet night in Poilhes, about empty, very empty little town Arjoli. Back to the base, and should we go to Carcassonne? Why not? So we left the Mediterranean in the morning and went through 9 locks again, and it took a big part of the day. And now we are looking for a quiet place to stay for the night, and we found it. It is a small, very little town, Poilhes. We decided to explore this town at first, but this town was so small. You will see. This is the library, city library. Ben is going somewhere, he doesn't know where. And that's it, it is the end of the town. We turned back and just looked around. It is a nice little French town, but we discovered the very beautiful view from this town, the view of the valley. Okay, go ahead.
Well, after a long, hard day on the canals.
Hold on, start again.
After a long, hard day on the canals, here we are at a little village called, we think, Poilhes. We don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, it's P-O-I-L-H-E-S.
I think Poilhes or something.
Poilhes, maybe, in France. It's a cute little place. Not very many people here. Not very much going on. And like everything in France, it's closed almost all the time. Everything. Except for a very few hours of the day. As you can see, there's a beautiful view across the valley. This area was actually settled earlier than most of the rest of France, we're told, by the Romans, who built a road up this way. And so a lot of this land around here was actually been cultivated since Roman times, we're told.
And it is our boat.
Kind of an interesting place, but we're glad we're here because we had one hell of a tiring day.
Yes.
And we're here for the night.
Great. We are happy. That evening we tried to find any restaurant as usual. There was one, but it was busy, it was occupied. We found a little store where Ben bought soda, and that's it. But we spent a very nice evening on the boat, and it was wonderful. Next day we were ready to move to the base. Spanish
chorizo, French cheese. It's good. We're nice view. It's a nice morning.
By the way, it is usual Ben's breakfast. And it is a little town, Arjoli. We were curious and decided to stop and rest a little bit. And we were curious what it looks like. We rode our bikes to the town. And you will see how empty this town was. We did not meet almost anybody on streets, but the town is very old and I think very interesting. Look at it.
Appelle-moi, donne-moi des nouvelles, est-ce que tu m'aimes encore? Ouvre-moi ton cœur, dis-moi si c'est vrai tout ce qu'on dit sur toi. Appelle-moi, donne-moi un peu d'espoir, est-ce que j'ai eu tort d'avoir eu si peur? Appelle-moi, donne-moi le temps de retrouver le nord. Juste quelques heures et tu verras, tu me reconnaîtras pas. Appelle-moi, donne-moi l'illusion de briller comme l'or. J'aurai plus jamais peur, je saurai la fête qui te fera roi. Bébé, j'ai perdu la tête quand tu m'as pris dans tes bras. J'ai pas assuré, pas réalisé, j'étais déjà plus là. J'ai perdu la tête, bébé, appelle-moi. Je veux tout donner, tout recommencer. Alors si tu m'aimes encore, appelle-moi. Bébé,
In memory of the sons of Argelais killed in the defense of their country, 1914-1918.
We took our little cozy boat to the base and we were sad a little bit because it was a nice trip. Do you remember I told you from the beginning that we were planning to go to Carcassonne, but we did not go there. We changed our direction, and so we decided to rent a car and actually go to Carcassonne to see that interesting place.
We were really happy that we got to visit the French city of Carcassonne. I'm not sure how big it is, but it's actually a pretty big city, I think, and it has a very well preserved medieval center dominated by an enormous castle, which you see here. Carcassonne is really interesting. We had to park very far away from the castle because of the crowds, which I'll talk about later. And because we had to park so far from the castle, in order to get to it, we walked through the downtown section of Carcassonne, which turned out to be really interesting and really beautiful as French cities go. So it was very pleasant and very nice to walk up to the castle. Then when we got to the castle, we discovered that not only is it enormous, but it's also been turned into, I guess you'd say, a first-class tourist destination, and there were thousands of tourists in the castle. All sorts of shops and restaurants everywhere, so there's lots to see and do, but you have to fight thousands of people in order to do it. And it wasn't really our kind of place because of all the people. It's a spectacular castle, a spectacular town, a fun place to go, but boy, be prepared for a lot of people.
And I think on our way back, we went through the downtown again, and we wanted to buy something and everything was closed.
Well, what else is new in France?
Our last video about boating in France will be the pros and cons, and we will tell you about the price and our opinion about this. We will see you very, very soon.